There does seem to be sort of the curse of history, but by what I mean is, as human beings, we seem, if not unable, we find it very difficult to sustain success. So building on the previous generation's success and taking it on and going on at least for 4 generations. And if you do 4, I don't see why you can't do 40. But as human beings, our history has been both in spiritual ministry, organizations, revivals, in industry. It's very difficult to sustain success. People, it seems to go successful, plateau, and then slowly diminish. And so we have to break out, if that is true, and I think that's empirically justifiable. No good king in Israel was followed by a good king, which is ridiculous. A good king would come, the place would bloom and blossom, the employment would go up, the enemies would be defeated, the strength of the priesthood was strong, and the people were virile and happy. And then some, forgive the word, jackass king comes along who doesn't serve God the way his predecessor did, and down they go. Their enemies beat them. It blows my mind. And I've read through the scriptures so many times. So we have to somehow grab hold of the possibility of what the scripture says, that we can go from faith to faith, glory to glory, strength to strength, and keep going. As far as I know, the only revival move of God that sustained itself for that kind of length of time was the Moravians under Count Zinzendorf. It was a wonderful 100-year move of God. But most revivals come and go in 40 years. Many apostolic teams that I've been around and known of, they go well for a generation, plateau, and somehow things don't quite work out. And covenants get broken or whatever. So we seem unable to sustain success. We need to ask God to help us. What do we need to do? 2 Timothy 2, chapter 2, verse 2, Paul's writing to Timothy, of course, and he says to Timothy, Timothy, you give to reliable men what I gave to you, so that those reliable men can give it to others. Now, there's 4 iterations there, so we can say there's 4 generations, rather like, for example, the example of Abram, Isaac, Jacob, who became Israel. Same person, but the Lord changed him, gave him the limp when he wrestled with him, and they continued. So in your mind, think generationally, think 4 generations ahead. My grandson came in off the beach in Spain one day when he was 11 years old. And I was working at home. I got back from school. I was just doing emails. And he rushed in off the beach ahead of the family. He came and stood next to me and he said, Granddad. I said, what, babe? He said, G42 is safe with me. That's G42 is the ministry that we run together with AIM and World Race. G42 is safe with me. I said, that's fantastic. We're going to ask Jesus to record that and pray. And then he didn't move. He said, G42, and he said, Granddad, I want to say something else. G42 is safe with my sons. He's 11 years old. I wasn't thinking about sons at 11 years old. And then he said, third time, Granddad, G42 is safe with my sons' sons, my great-great-grandchildren. Make a 100-year plan for your life. What stories are you going to tell your children? What hands are you going to lay on them? What impartation are you going to give to them so that what you build will continue to be successful? It won't diminish. It won't get plateaued and go down. It won't lose its essential DNA. Find people that you can impart to. Find Timothys. Basically, you can't compel, but if you could compel the Timothy to find reliable men, say what you've got, give to others, so you can continue the line of what God has given to you so that you get the kind of harvest, not just in one generation, but for 100 years. And if we can get 100 years, why can't we get 1,000 years? I don't know when Jesus is coming, but when he comes, can we still be rising? Don't be on the way down when he comes. Still be on the way up with you, your family, and those that follow you. God bless you.